Class 7 Sacred Heart Senior Secondary School, BRS Nagar. Civics, Lesson 1, on Equality. An effort by Harnoor Kaur, Class 7 Pink. For tuitions, please call 9815444985. All those citizens who are 18 years and above have the right to vote irrespective of their social or economic backgrounds. It is called universal adult franchise. This is a very important aspect of democratic societies. People in India experience inequality in different ways. One of the more common forms of inequality in India is the caste system. In urban India we think that people no longer believe in caste. But in rural India caste identity is more prominent. Dalit is a term that the so-called lower castes use to address themselves. Dalit means broken, and by using this word, lower castes are pointing to how they were, and continue to be, seriously discriminated against. Om Prakash Valmiki is a famous Dalit writer. He wrote his autobiography, named as Juthan, which talks about his experiences of growing up as a Dalit boy. Mr. and Mrs. Ansari were looking to rent an apartment in the city. They had the money and so paying the rent was no problem. They went to a property dealer for help to find a place. The dealer informed them that he knew about quite a few apartments that were available for rent. They visited the first apartment and the Ansaris liked it very much, and decided to take it. However, when the landlady found out their names, she made an excuse about how she could not rent the house to someone who ate meat because the building did not have any non-vegetarian residents. Both the Ansaris and the property dealer were surprised to hear this because they could smell fish being cooked in the neighbor's house. The same excuse was repeated in the second and the third apartments. Finally, the property dealer told them that they might want to change their names and call themselves Mr. and Mrs. Kumar. The Ansaris were not willing to do this and decided to look some more. In the end, it took a whole month of looking at apartments before they found a landlady who was willing to give them a place on rent. The caste we are born into, the religion we practice, the class background we come from, whether we are male or female, are the basis of inequality. Om Prakash Valmiki and the Ansaris are being treated unequally on the basis of differences of caste and religion. When persons are treated unequally, their dignity is violated. The dignity of both Om Prakash Valmiki and the Ansaris was violated because of the way in which they were treated. By picking on him and making him sweep the school because of his caste, Om Prakash Valmiki's schoolmates and teachers hurt his dignity badly and made him feel as if he was less than equal to all other students in the school. Being a child, Om Prakash Valmiki could do very little about the situation that he was in. It was his father who, on seeing his son sweep, felt angry by this unequal treatment and confronted the teachers. The Ansaris' dignity was also hurt when persons refused to lease their apartments to them. However, when the property dealer suggested that they change their name, it was their dignity or self-respect that made them refuse this suggestion. Om Prakash and the Ansaris do not deserve to be treated like this. They deserve the same respect and dignity as anyone else. The Indian Constitution recognizes every person as equal. This means that every individual in the country, including male and female persons from all castes, religions, tribes, educational and economic backgrounds, are recognized as equal. In democratic India, the principle of the equality of all persons is recognized. While earlier no law existed to protect people from discrimination and ill treatment, now there are several that work to see that people are treated with dignity and as equals. This recognition of equality includes some of the following provisions in the Constitution. First, that every person is equal before the law. Second, no person can be discriminated against on the basis of their religion, race, caste, place of birth, or whether they are female or male. Third, every person has access to all public places, including playgrounds, hotels, shops and markets. All persons can use publicly available wells, roads and bathing ghats. Fourth, untouchability has been abolished. There are several laws in India that protect every person's right to be treated equally. In addition to laws, the government has also set up several schemes to improve the lives of communities and individuals who have been treated unequally for several centuries. These schemes are to ensure greater opportunity for people who have not had this in the past. One of the steps taken by the government includes the midday meal scheme. This refers to the program introduced in all government elementary schools to provide children with cooked lunch. Tamil Nadu was the first state in India to introduce this scheme, and in 2001, this program has had many positive effects. These include the fact that more poor children have begun enrolling and regularly attending school. This program has also helped reduce caste prejudices, because both lower and upper caste children in the school eat this meal together. And in quite a few places, Dalit women have been employed to cook the meal. The midday meal program also helps reduce the hunger of poor students who often come to school and cannot concentrate because their stomachs are empty. Issues of equality in other democracies. In many democratic countries around the world, the issue of equality continues to be the key issue around which communities struggle. For example, in the United States of America, the African Americans whose ancestors were the slaves who were brought over from Africa continue to describe their lives today as largely unequal. This, despite the fact that there was a movement in the late 1950s to push for equal rights for African Americans. Prior to this, African Americans were treated extremely unequally in the United States and denied equality through law. For example, when traveling by bus, they either had to sit at the back of the bus or get up from their seat whenever a white person wished to sit. Rosa Parks was an African American woman. Tired from a long day at work, she refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man. On the 1st of December 1955, her refusal that day started a huge agitation against the unequal ways in which African Americans were treated, and which came to be known as the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, religion or national origin. It also stated that all schools would be open to African American children, and that they would no longer have to attend separate schools specially set up for them. Challenge of democracy. No country can be described as being completely democratic. There are always communities and individuals trying to expand the idea of democracy and push for a greater recognition of equality on existing as well as new issues.